For my husband's lunch today, we're going to be starting with the top and adding in some edamame salad. I know a lot of you asked for the recipe, so I'll make sure to post it after this video. Continuing on, I cubed up some Asian pear to go in as well, packing in a brownie bar and also a handful of salted peanuts. And for the main portion, I'm going to be packing in some leftover marinated boneless short ribs. I prepared this meat on Tuesday, and then last night my husband and I had Korean barbecue for dinner. This cut of meat is one of our favorites whenever we do Korean barbecue, especially since the marinade is so sweet and savory. It comes out super flavorful and you don't need any dipping sauce to go with it. Of course, I packed in some fresh rice and some kimchi, and then a sprinkling of green onions. Now that it's ready to go, I'm packing everything away. And of course, I'm writing a little note to tell my husband that I'm thinking of him.
Romantic Valentine's Day picnic bento. I made these chocolate dipped strawberries and they're so cute. I used beetroot water to make my rice purple and then I shaped them into hearts. Also added some tempura and a heart-shaped egg. These skewers are so cute, so I used them for cherry tomatoes. Added some extra hearts out of cheese and boxed it all up. I really hope he likes it. And that's how you make a
Let's make some lunch for my kids. Today is my first bento box for the year. The girls are back at school and it was Maxine's birthday on the 1st of January, so I wanted to make this one super special. Pursuit Farm sent me this beautiful Japanese Wagyu, so I just rendered it and then just seared it with its own fat and added a little bit of salt. It's literally like butter and you don't need anything else. Looks so yummy. And now I'm just adding some rice, the slices of Wagyu right on top of the rice. This is definitely the bougiest bento box I've made. I'm topping it off with a quail egg and flaky salt. I made blackberry, raspberry, and blueberry tanghulu and added those on sparkler food picks. And now for the note, I'm writing, Happy New Year. Your next chapter is going to be amazing. Happy birthday.
Another popular bento theme that people are requesting is colors of the rainbow. So I'm going to start with red and work my way through all of the colors. I started by adding one of these cherry cheesecake packs into the box and topped it with some red sprinkles. I also added a Baby Bell cheese, which I cut a little heart into, and some cherry tomatoes with a side of ranch dressing. And I know the leaf picks are green, but I still think they look cute. For the fruit, I added some strawberries and raspberries with 2 red heart picks. The main course is a little bit complicated to explain, but it's basically just spaghetti with homemade marinara sauce and a hot dog, which I cut so that it kind of looks like an octopus, except with 4 legs. There was probably a better way to explain that, but I think you get the idea. So yeah, here's the red lunch. Can't wait for the rest of the rainbow.
Let's make some lunch for my kids. Today I'm making my version of a California roll. I thinly sliced some cucumbers and carrots. Lay down nori and spread some rice on top. I shredded up some imitation crab. Added the cucumber and carrots, roll it all together. Seal the edges with a little bit of rice and cut them into bite-sized pieces. Add masago on top. Masago is fish eggs. Add the rolls in. I like to peel the avocado and I'm adding a few slices. For the sides, I'm cutting honeydew melon and adding that to the bento box. I used cute little sushi food picks. Some cute little chocolate stars I found at the Korean store. Soy sauce and a little mayo on the side. And now for the note I'm writing. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Let's make some lunch for my boyfriend. Today I made him a quinoa salad. To make the salad, I boiled up the red quinoa for 10 minutes. I chopped up some spinach. You can substitute that with kale, red bell pepper, cucumbers, red onions, cherry tomatoes, parsley, and I also added some chickpeas. I'm sprinkling some salt and pepper on top, and for the dressing, I'm squeezing some lemon. I'm using balsamic vinegar. You can also use red wine vinegar, and I drizzled some olive oil as well. In the little container, I added some hummus, olive oil, and paprika with some pita chips on the side. In the other section, I'm adding some lettuce on the bottom and falafel. And for the note, I'm writing lyrics from the song First Time by Seven Lions, Slander, and Dabin. Oh, this is what it feels like when I can't fall asleep unless you're laying next to me. The bento box stacks up all together like this, and it comes with utensils, and that's it.
Making some lunch for my dad. I recently came across Jessica Wu's TikTok and I love the bento box lunches she makes for her kids, so I decided to do the same thing for my dad because he works all day and the doctor said he needs to eat healthier. I made some steamed broccoli, some oven roasted salmon, and fresh lemon wedges for lunch, and then for breakfast I gave him some wild blueberries, which are really high in antioxidants, and some multigrain chia toast. I also did a white and spinach egg omelet, and then I added his favorite cheese, cow cheese. For a snack, I did almonds, which are really good for lowering cholesterol, and dark chocolate, which is great for heart health. That's pretty much it. I really hope he likes it. Stay tuned for the next one. For my husband's lunch today, I'm going to be packing in some sweet and salty trail mix. I also peeled and cut up an orange, and to prevent the juices from going everywhere, I put in a piece of parchment paper. I also made some sauteed zucchini, which we had last night with our dinner, and of course some Biscoff cookies. And for the main portion, I'm going to be packing in some oven roasted chicken thighs, which my husband and I had the other night. The chicken came out really tender and juicy, and with the chicken drippings, I was able to turn it into a nice glaze. And of course, I'll drop you guys the recipe after this video. Going back to the lunch, I packed in some butternut squash pasta that we had with our chicken that night, and of course, topping the chicken off with that yummy glaze. And no pasta is complete without some freshly grated Parmesan. Now that everything's ready to go, I'm packing it all away. For this lunch, all my husband has to do is reheat in the microwave, and of course I included a note to tell him that I love him.
Hey guys, here's my attempt at an all-purple bento. All of my plans for this bento kind of fell apart, so I just did the best that I could. Started with some red grapes, not purple, but this was the best that I could find. I also have barely any purple food picks, but I do have these 2 unicorn ones, which I put into the grape section. Then on the side, I added a handful of these yogurt bites, and then I also added a little purple koala pick into them. And it is just for decoration, you can't use it to pick them up. For the vegetable, I went with some purple carrots and a small side of ranch. And then for the main course, I was going to do purple potatoes, but I couldn't find any. So we're going with purple mac and cheese. In order to do this, I had to use white mac and cheese. I was optimistic at first when I started to put the food coloring in, but then it just turned gray. It does look more purple in real life than it does on camera, but you know, it didn't turn out the best, but I did give it my best shot.
Let's make some lunch for my kids. Today I made some crispy chicken tenders, and I'm adding spicy nacho Doritos, and I'm picking the nicest chips from the bag. Now I'm going to cut up some mangoes. This is the way I learned how to cut them, so this is how I always do it. I cut one side, and then I add vertical lines across, and then horizontal lines all the way as well. And you want to be very careful not to cut through your hand, so be very careful or ask for help. And then you just flip it up from the middle, and you just hold it like that, and they're bite-sized pieces, and it's easy to eat. For the note, I'm quoting Branch from Trolls. Since the second one is out today, happiness is inside all of us. Sometimes you just need someone to help you find it.
For my husband's lunch today, I've got some jerky sausage links that I cut in half. I also peeled a yellow kiwi, which is my husband and I's favorite fruit right now. I also cut a hard-boiled egg in half. I kind of had to rearrange some things since it didn't really work, but I was able to use the sauce container to add the nuts and the sausage links. For the main portion today, I'm going to be doing a classic fried bologna sandwich. It's not often that I make these kind of sandwiches, but I remember making them when I was a kid with my dad. It was one of the only things that he really knew how to make, but I loved doing that with him. And of course, he taught me to cut the slits on the sides of the bologna so it doesn't curl up. I kept it simple by adding mayo and American cheese. I did end up having to cut the sandwiches down since my bread is larger than regular size bread, but of course my dog got the scraps, which he always enjoys. Now that everything's done, I packed everything together and of course included a note to tell my husband that I love him.
Let's pack my kids' lunch. So James has these ham sandwiches that I've cut up like that. Fancy ham sandwiches. There's Amelia, she's got these wheel wrap things. Put in some Ritz in each of theirs. And some in there. Mini cucumber for Amelia. Strawberries for James. Strawberries for Amelia. Oh, and tomatoes for Amelia because James doesn't like those kind of things, so she'll have that. And James has an extra orange. Then it's tube yogurt, yogurt in a tube, cheese thing, cheese stick, caramel wafer, and another one in there. Job's a good one. Look at that.
Bento lunch ideas for kids. On Monday, I did shrimp pasta with a peach and cucumber. On Tuesday, I did peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a hard-boiled egg. On Wednesday, I did Annie's mac and cheese with jicama sticks and snacks. On Thursday, I did quesadillas with grapes and tomato. And on Friday, I did nuggets that I wrapped in foil to keep warm. Thanks for watching.